Hey fish nerds, Nerdstacular here. Today we're going to take a tour of my planted 10-gallon tank. Let's first start off by talking about fertilizers just to get that out of the way. I love what CO2 can do for the planted aquarium, but the canisters really intimidate the crap out of me. So instead of those, I use this. It's API CO2 Booster Plant. It's a liquid, and I just follow the dosing instructions on the back. And then I also use Flourish Excel every day. I am more than pleased with the results that I'm getting just by using only those two liquids for fertilization. Alright, so let's get into the tank. For substrate, I'm using Carob Sea Flora-Max in the red. It also comes in black. And then for the light, I've got Affinix Fuse Ray Planted Plus. Alright, so now let's talk about plants. So over here in this corner, we have Cryptocoryne undulata, Anubias nana, Cryptocoryne wenditi, Anubias nana petite I is what that one was given to me as, Java fern, Anubias avsvelli, Alternanthera rennicki is this beautiful red stuff, Storogene repens, these cute little bushes, Cryptocoryne crispatula, I think is how that's pronounced. I'm not real sure on that. Red foxtail, a little bit of green hornwort in there. Right here is just a plain Amazon sword. I think it's Echinodorus amazonicus, so just a regular little one. And here's a little bit of Bacopa. This guy here, this is just plain Bacopa. Let's move this hornwort out of the way. Okay, so now this plant here, when I bought it, it was labeled as Bolbetus heteroclita, and that's not what this is. It's not an African water fern. I have no idea what this thing is. It's growing new plants on its leaves, kind of like Java ferns do. And like a Java fern, it's got a rhizome versus a stem that you would plant. So if you think you know what this is, please comment. I would love to learn about it. I am planning on posting some pictures of it on the Planted Tank forum to see if anybody else might know. I have no idea. It's really cute though. Here, I don't know how well you can see that, but this is a brand new baby plant growing on the, it looks like it's ready to get detached, and here's another one over here. So I'm getting ready to trim my foxtail back again because, as you can see, like this guy here is sending out roots into the water. So is this guy. It's getting really long in there. This is totally my favorite plant. It's just so soft. But yeah, look at that. It's planted back there behind the driftwood, up against the glass. I like how far just this one piece comes out. Look at that. So I'll be probably snipping them off around here and replanting the stalk probably in front of the sponge filter. So I'm going to dry my hand here. Okay. So that covers it for plants, I think. I mean, obviously you can see I have a huge amount of Java moss there and a little clump over there. And of course, you know, got a little bit of, I think that's floating water lettuce. And I finally got my duckweed problem for the most part under control. But you know how it is with duckweed. Alright, so let's talk about fish. Okay, so bajillions of these little snails, you know, I'm sure you know the story. You get a couple in on a plant that you don't notice, and then by the time you notice them, they're everywhere. So a whole bunch of these little snails. There are 2 cherry shrimp in here somewhere. It's kind of a jungle mess in here. So we got a whole bunch of pond snail, just aquarium snails. 2 cherry shrimp, 1 albino bristlenose pleco. It's still a juvenile, so I'm not real sure if it's male or female quite yet. I think it might end up being a female. 1 ivory mystery snail, 1 autocat, 3 pygmy cories. One of them has like a checkerboard look, and the other 2 have stripes, and the checkerboard guy is kind of my favorite, and I think it's because the other two don't hang out with him, so I feel bad for the guy, and he kind of reminds me of me when I was in school. It's kind of off doing my own thing, not a lot of friends, so he's my favorite. And then Fancy Guppies. So this is the holding tank for all the babies. Let's see if I can kind of, don't know, yeah, he won't show up. This is my oldest. He's from one of the first spawnings, or birthings, I guess you would say. I won't really be able to get him on video. He is the biggest one in there, and he's also the one showing the most color. He's got an orange back fin going on and a blue top fin. So I don't know who he belongs to. I have 6 females and 1 male for Fancy Guppies. So he could belong to any of the ladies, but I know for sure who his daddy is. So there's so many babies in this tank, it's insane. Let me see if I can't just stir them all up in here. I'm excited to see what I'm gonna get. It's my first attempt at breeding fish, and I decided to go with Fancy Guppies. I've always loved Fancy Guppies. I tried to have them like 12 years ago with my first tank, and it was weird. I cycled my tank with some Zebra Danios, and when I added my Fancy Guppies, I floated the bag. I transitioned them in. Look at that snail doing that weird thing. Look at that. Transitioned them in the way you're supposed to, and my Danios just freaked out and ripped my guppies to shreds in just a few minutes after they were out of the bag. It was upsetting. So this is my first attempt at Fancy Guppies in 12 years. I'm gonna call it a success, But yeah, so this is the 10-gallon tank. Oh, there's one of the cherries. Look, 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 look. Hello, Shrimpy. I'm sorry about the focus on the camera. I'm using a GoPro, and it doesn't have an adjustable focus or even an autofocus, so I apologize for that. But that's the 10. So for filtration, I'm just using a basic sponge, and then for a heater, it's the preset Tetra heater. I believe it's Tetra. And that's the tank. My favorite species of plant is the cryptocoryne, but my favorite plant ever has got to be red foxtail. Like, oh, look at that. I believe it's called Myriophyllum simulans for the Latin scientific name. But yeah, that is my 10-gallon tank.